Most books don't fail after they're written. They fail before a word was even typed into the computer.
Pour a cup of clarity, sip a spark of insight. Coffee with Karma, your morning feels just right.
Why is that? Why is that? Before you write a single word, there are a few decisions that you need to make. You need to make these decisions to determine whether your book will ever convert, and they need to happen before you write the book. Most people skip them or think of them too late in the process and end up with a book that doesn't pull its weight. Hi, my name is Carma Spence, and I help established experts write the right book so that it achieves the goal that they have in mind, whether that is attracting new, juicy clients, whether that's getting speaking gigs, whether that's attracting in other types of opportunities, or all of the above, as long as one of them is primary. We work together, having fun, using AI ethically, and of course, pulling out the brilliance that is already in their brain. If you're watching this video on YouTube, please like this video, comment below, share it with your colleagues, and subscribe to my channel so that YouTube and other people know that this kind of video is for them, people who want to drive business growth with books. So let's get to the 3 simple steps to make your book convert into clients, into opportunities. The first one is so super simple. You follow this simple template, okay? In one sentence, you're going to write, "This book helps." Who does it help? Be very specific. People is not a good answer. Solve, what business problem does it help them solve? Again, be specific. You want it to be a top of mind problem. So it'll bring in your juicy clients, and it needs to be something they can believe will be solved. I mean, like if you said, "I help peacekeepers create world peace," that's a little big. That's a little big. You don't want that. It's more like, "I help busy moms create tasty lunches that fit into a lunchbox that are nutritious." That was off the top of my head. And then you follow that up with, "so they can result." So the result is kids who love opening up their lunchbox and they eat all the tasty, nutritious food that they find in there. You don't have to be as wordy. You can be pithy if you like, but that's basically the template. This book helps who solve what business problem so that they can have this juicy, dreamy result. Again, you want it to be something small enough that it can be solved in a book. You want it to be top of mind so that people actually pick up your book. And you want to be specific on who it helps. That's it. That's step 1. Step 2, list 3 ways your book can lead to revenue. This is for you. What offer, what service, what speaking, when someone reads this book, what is the next step with you? So you've solved this top of mind problem, but that usually creates another problem, what my mentor, Molly Mahoney, calls a win gap. You give them a win, it creates a gap. What's the resolution? What's the problem solver of of that gap? That is your product or service, and you want it to be baked into the book. Step 3, identify the single next step your reader should take after finishing your book. So now you've identified what you want them to eventually purchase, but there's a step before that. There's a tiny step, an easy yes that they can do that will get them closer to taking that big step. So let's say you wrote a book that solves a problem. It creates a gap that is solved by your $5,000 program. Well, someone's not going to read your book and buy your $5,000 program. There may be outliers who do that, but most people aren't. What is the step in between the book and the $5,000 program. Maybe it's a mini course. Maybe it's an ebook. Maybe it's a challenge that you hold once a month or a webinar you hold once a month. Something that you don't have, because remember, this book is going to be there for a while. So you want it to be something that's partially evergreen, and you want it to be something that's free, and you want it to be so juicy that they will go, yes, I want that. And you need to be very careful with this. I've made tons of mistake with this one step. Home Sweet Homepage, I thought it was brilliant, offering all this amazing value for free. And everyone thought, well, not everyone, but there were a lot of people who were complaining on in the review section on Amazon that she wants my email address to get the rest of the book, because it wasn't the rest of the book. But you live and you learn. Don't do what I did. Be very, if you do, and the thing is, I was writing the book was already written when I was making these decisions, and this is why I made those mistakes. This is why I insist my clients make these decisions up front, because then you can naturally create the book in a way that feels aligned and flows and just gets people either they fall in love with you and take the next step, or they go, I don't want to work with this person. And it turns out you didn't want to work with them either. So there you go. 3 steps to help your book convert. And again, all of these have to happen before you write your book. Now, if you've already written your book and you need help retooling things around the book so that it can do this, go get a curious conversation with Carma. All you have to do is go to karmaspence.com/schedule. Let's hash it out. Let's find out what your next best step is, because I want you to have a book that works. Ideally, you figure it out before you write the book, but there are things you can do after the book as well. Some of them are not as pleasant to those others, but I won't be able to tell you which one it is until we have a conversation about your book. So this is Karma saying ciao for now, and I will be back in the next video with 3 lessons from the film Sliding Doors that can change everything for you. This is Carma Spence saying ciao for now.